present the material design workshops that we have been doing in different parts of the world, actually. So I will tell you about some of these workshops, but mostly about 3 workshops that we developed that are really related with craft, because we actually work with craft people to understand about some materials and about some techniques. The material-driven design method support the designers in structuring and communicating and reflecting on the materials and on the design to create different material experiences. And we start from the material and we interact with it to understand the different possibilities. And with the do-yourself materials, we actually start also from the ingredients and discovering different ingredients. Participants choose the different materials. We use waste, and it is very important. The discussion with peers, we also explain some recipes. And then we try to do a lot of tests, trials and errors. And from that trials and error, we learn. But it's very important that we use low-tech elements to create them. And they are sometimes crafty or sometimes even imperfect or not standardized, because they are like test materials. They are prototype of materials. And now I will tell you about these 3 workshops that for us were important because they were really related with craft and craft people. This is a Taiwan banana fiber workshop, one from Taiwan fish scale workshop, and the last one is from Japan, Taiwan banana fiber workshop. It was around 20 designers that first went to this masterclass. It was also around like a week. So in this week, the first things were trying to understand about the material-driven design method and try to follow these methods, do-yourself materials, and what can be done with different techniques. In this process of exploring these fibers, it's also possible to see another parts and structures that maybe we don't see, because when we find these fibers, they are just a fiber, but look into the process, we can find another structures and another part of the banana tree that can be used in a different way. Also, from these kind of trips, it's interesting to see the people working already with these materials and transforming this material from something very raw to something like fiber. Also, it's possible to see how the ancient techniques are explored. And we start mixing these old techniques with do-yourself material experiments. So we start experimenting, mixing, trying new things, and also finding new things in this kind of process. The second workshop is the Taiwan fish scale. This project tried to innovate in a different way because they wanted to bridge innovative technologies and craft, because they really wanted to bring new materials, craft knowledge, and technologies that in this case we use 3D printing. This project was actually started for the creation of a material from the fish scales, making a kind of pastry to 3D print, and then making products with these materials. So the process included a lot of do-yourself experiential characterization, because we had to define what we wanted from those materials. The first step was learning from other craft and design projects from other years, because this was a project that has been experimented several times. The first things that we did was try to understand how was the first material developed and how use the machines that in this case were 3D printed. We went to the field and we tried to understand where come this fish from and what is the cultural interest of this fish. And actually we understood that it was very important for Taiwan. Is the milk fish that is one of the most consumed, and everything is consumed from this fish. And they also do a lot of some sub-products with. So for this project, we did different prototypes and we experimented materials, but it was very nice to see how also craft, the knowledge from those final artifacts that we created was very intertwined with the craft and the cultural aspects that the people shared to us when we did all these field trips, for example. The last experience was recently in Japan, this international workshop. And the idea of this workshop was to mix craft people with designers in order to realize new products that can have a new material experience. We learn from the people that cultivate this bamboo and how they use it and how to cut it and how to transform it, how to dry it, and how to make some also object with these craft techniques. We also have some designers that came to the different lectures to explain what design is doing with this kind of do-yourself materials. Then they had a lot of time to reflect, to discuss in groups, to create concepts, to see the possibilities of the material. It was very nice to talk with these people to understand what they feel like craft people, what they learn from design, and what designers learn from the craft people. And actually, they are both very different approach, but can be combined in a very nice ways and understand finally to have finally nice projects.